Welcome back to part two of our live show. Delighted to say Charlie Hartfield remains with us, our guest for this evening. Fascinating part one. If you missed that, do look back on it. Incredible honesty from Charlie Hartfield about his life and his career and his desire to help people, particularly those with a gambling addiction and young footballers especially. Charlie, I did promise you a sort of a lighter, more relaxed part two, and that's what we'll have. James Gregg, good to see you back after a few weeks down in the smoke.
Absolutely, yeah.
Defending on World Service and goodness knows
yeah,
what.
Still rolled out a few good shows whilst I've been off though, Alan, so
I don't know how to manage it. Maybe it's been an improvement.
It has, but you could say that.
Come on. We talked about, we're going to talk about the team that you played in, but just to top and tail everything that we were talking about in part one, I know the support. I know from looking at Twitter, you know, how many players that you played with, how many, you know, former managers, coaches, physios like Derek French, Steve Thompson, lives out at Lincoln House, particularly asked me to pass on regards, Curtis Woodhouse, all these people staying loyal to you and the support they've given you and how much that means to
It's
you.
fantastic. It's unbelievable. You know, the Blade supporters, the support over in London, Blade supporters have been immense. From everyone, really. It touches my heart. It seriously does. It means the world to me.
And they've helped you to get over this huge hump in your life. And some have actually visited you in prison.
Yeah, Harry come to visit. Gans come on a regular basis. Trace Bees has been up. Hodge, you know, Tony Adams come up to visit me. Yeah, you know, I'm a lucky man, considering, you know, the mistakes I've made.
You had a good question you wanted to pose when we were talking before the show about a youngster sitting in a room, you know, and hearing that story.
I know what it's like. You know, I'm still sort of in my 20s, and I know that, you know, when people used to come into school or whatever, and uni or whatever, and talk to us about the pitfalls of certain things. Sometimes it kind of get you go, yeah, all right, and in one ear out of another, and you kind of got to realise your own mistakes, haven't you, a bit? Do you think? I mean, you know, you give these talks to young sort of aspiring Premier League footballers, and you just kind of wonder, do you reckon that they are actually going to go, you know what, he's talking to me here, or? You know, obviously you get a buzz out of talking to him and stuff.
When I tell my story, you know, they're fascinated because, as you know, I don't hold back, and my stories are, you know, a bit near the mark, you know, with some of the things. I'm a very honest person, and the ones who it touch is the ones who are sitting at the back of the class thinking, hang on a minute, I have a bet, and it does get a bit out of control. You know, mate, the things he's talking about, you know, some of in his earlier years, maybe, you know, I've done a bit of that and something like that. That's what I'm hoping is going to touch base. But the next big thing is the reaching out. You know, because we all need help. You know, I haven't done this on my own. Although the initial thing is that I've done it on my own. You know, I've got the members in GA. I've had the Sporting Chance help me, my friends, my family. Is it
simply if you suspect you've got a problem like that, to talk to somebody, or the more people the better?
It is, Al, but it's the hardest thing.
Because it's mental health awareness today, week today. I mean,
Mental Health Day, It's an important day.
And there's a crossover there, isn't there?
But I always say about Mental Health Day, you know, we should be on Mental Health Day every day.
Yeah.
You know, because it's out there. Especially at the moment, it's been brought to the front and it's out there.
But it's never been encouraged to talk about it until now.
It's not. And let me tell you, it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, was going to GA. It was the hardest decision, the hardest move, and probably the bravest move I've ever done. Because my life was my life, and I just thought that was my life. So you know, it was tough. You know, and I can feel for people who are fighting it. You know.
And people think that you perhaps, you know, people are going to judge you. You know, if you think, right, I want to tell them, but they might not like me telling them. You know what I mean? Especially friends and family who are closest to you. They might be like, God, for goodness sake, what are you doing, Charlie? You know
You're going to get judged because of the person I was in the beginning. the people are going to judge you because of the hurt you cause and the problems you cause other people. So, and rightly so. You know, they have got a right to judge you. If you've hurt someone, they've got a right to judge you. It's only over time that I can show people that I'm different now.
Yeah.
You know, that's all I can do. You know.
Right, we're going to come on to Sheffield United days with Charlie Hartfield in and around the team. Before we wish John Fleck good luck in around 10 minutes' time. Just stay with us, but we will let you put Scotland on.
Yeah, after 15 minutes, you never know.
After 15 minutes, he's actually making a start for Scotland.
He is, yeah, and you know Liam Palmer as well, starting the Sheffield Wednesday right back as well. So that great to have two sort of people from this parish, professional footballers, making starts this evening in international football. Of course, Dean Henderson as well in the England squad as well.
It certainly is, which reminds me, just carry on for a minute.
I will do.
I haven't replied to a message from Ian Crocker, the TV commentator, who, I'm going to apologise, who asked me, trust you well, fella, see much of Al's, Liam Palmer been more left back than right, question mark. Yeah, I just put, yes mate, correct.
Yes. So it'll be interesting to see where he starts tonight for Scotland, actually, Alan. It's that international break, though, isn't it? And unfortunately, that brings its own.
I've forgotten to reply to him. Sorry.
It brings its own.
He won't be watching.
It brings its own pitfalls, though, that doesn't it? Because there's no league football. People are at a bit of a loose end. I've actually earmarked a couple of games nearby. Unfortunately, both Hallam and Sheffield Club are away on Saturday, but there's some nearby games. Worksop have got Kendal at home. Penistone Church have got Bridlington in the FA Vars as well on Saturday at home. They won 8-0 last night, Alan.
I know, I was following that on Twitter. 6-0 at half time.
Yeah, incredible. So, yes, they're flying as well. So, good wins for Sheffield Club last night as well, both men and women. The men with a penalty shootout win over Frickley in the Integro League Cup. The women came from behind, actually, to beat Hull City in the Northern League for the women as well. Sheffield United women, we've got to say for them, they've been great so far this season. They beat Liverpool in the Continental Cup, the fourth in the league as well. They've won 3 and lost 1. They've got Palace away on Sunday. We've already mentioned John Fleck, Liam Palmer
sorry about
tonight.
That. I'm sorry I was stealing that.
Incredible, and obviously Dean Henderson, not expected to feature, but well deserved actually as well, and particularly after his performance last week. Now, rugby union, we've not spoke about rugby union for a while on the programme, with no England game taking place on Saturday because of that typhoon. I mean, goodness gracious. You might want a rugby union fix this weekend. Sheffield Rugby Club are at home this weekend, Aberdale Park. Get yourselves down there. They're playing against Kettering in National 3, so it's a really good standard of rugby. Good wins for the Sheffield Steelers last weekend, back-to-back over the Nottingham Panthers, and they've got a back-to-back weekend in Scotland this weekend as well. 6 games into the new season. Fife and Dundee are the opponents this weekend. Sheffield Sharks home to Glasgow Rocks. That's tomorrow night in the Cup at the EIS as well. Matt Fitzpatrick in action at the Rolex Series Italian Open Golf. He's tied 6th at the moment alongside Justin Rose, no less, after a round of 4 under today. And also, do you want to mark your card about this? I know you're going to Bramall Lane tomorrow, Charlie, to go and see a few old faces and stuff.
And try and get some tickets.
Well, there is that as well. Like gold dust, aren't they, the tickets at the minute?
Arsenal there next.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second.
Team,
Sheffield United, they've actually unveiled a new series of midweek ground tours. So you can see all the improvements that they've made to sort of the ground and behind the scenes since promotion to the Premier League, because a lot of money had to go into that. It was mandatory by the Premier League. So you can do a tour around Bramall Lane. You previously couldn't do it, really. With John Garrett, who's obviously a bit of a legend, really, down at Bramall Lane.
He's got a book out. I'm going to review that shortly.
Really?
Danny Hall was telling me about it this week.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's not about the history of Sheffield United, is it?
By any chance? No. I think it's about stories over the years surrounding the club. I know it'll be entertaining, knowing John Garrett.
I mean, if you go for those tours, 2 p.m. every Thursday, he's got loads of stories.
He certainly has. He's got a fund of stories. Hallam, by the way, Jordan Turner keeps scoring for Hallam.
He does,
Remember Jordan coming in here?
Came in after he had a big mishap, didn't he? Where he got abandoned and all that.
He was under a cloud. He did something that Charlie would never have done. He pushed a referee or something like that. Okay. So he did. He got a huge ban, was very contrite about it. He's got his career back on the rails. He's scoring for fun.
Scoring loads
the
of
other
goals,
night, I challenged him on Twitter. I want to see you score the other night, because I went to see Hallam. 81 minutes gone, he was still on the bench, because they were hoping to get,
Was this the game where he scored the winner?
He came on with like 10 minutes to go. He won a penalty very cleverly. and scored it. So he kept to his side.
man.
Well done, Jordan.
Hat-trick the week before as well, so
Yeah.
he's banging him in.
Right, let's take you back, and then we'll take you forward to what's happening now. Some of it, I mean, Arsenal for a start. You were there, very early in your career. Didn't play. And
85 to 90, yeah. Fantastic place, unbelievable place.
you're still an Arsenal supporter.
I am. I do support Arsenal, but I'm more of a Blade. I've got to be honest.
You'll be more of a Blade a week on Monday.
1,000,000%.
Really?
1,000,000%. Yeah, I do love Arsenal, don't get me wrong, because that's where it all started. But my main part of my career and the love for this place, it's not just because I'm on the telly, it's serious love for the place.
Your lad Callum obviously grew up here as well, didn't he? So,
Yeah, of course. I got my boy, I got a lot of friends here. I got a lot,
Well, it's the peak of your career, and later Fulham loan, Swansea City, a Lincoln loan, Telford loan, Halifax Town, Ilkeston. Halifax Town brought you back into the orbit of a former teammate in your time at Bramall Lane, didn't it?
I think he got me a bit cheap, this one now, Chrissy.
Wilde,
I think he got me a bit cheap. He phoned me out. He said, I was playing at Ilkeston at the time. He said, I think he had a few injuries and things like that. He said, will you come down and play a few games? I'll give you a few quid. As soon as he said that, I was there.
Yeah.
And I got down there. And to be fair, I played 3 games for him and scored 2 goals.
That was never your forte,
No,
was it?
never mind. I was surprised myself, funny enough. But he still didn't offer me a contract.
Really?
No, but yeah, I think I sort of fell by the wayside after that. It's time to retire with my knee and things like that.
But you played alongside him at Sheffield United. Were there signs of the manager to be? Then, do you think?
He was always a comfortable man. He's a very good knowledge of the game. Great player, wasn't he? He was a fantastic player. And the knowledge of the game, you could see something in him. Well, it's been proven now. Look what he's done and the way he's done it.
There's a lot made of him, coming from working class background in Sheffield, which he did. But I don't think, I think his actual natural academic as well, intelligence is underestimated, because a friend of mine went to school with him. Okay, somebody I drink with most Sundays, and I hadn't realised until just literally about 3 weeks ago. And he said, Chris, he'd pass all the exams, top of the class all the time. And I was thinking school swat, like this.
Yeah.
But actually, he says really intelligent guy.
I didn't see that side of it.
Well, maybe I'm being told a few points.
We weren't that intelligent at 2 o'clock in the morning at Josie's.
Bear in mind, this mate of mine is a Wednesday fan.
Right.
So maybe he's feeding
that
me.
explains
He's
why
feeding me duff
complex,
information. But that time, of course, Dave Bassett was, tour de force, wasn't he?
Yeah.
At Sheffield United, brought you.
Great manager. Yeah, good manager. But, he got us going. He knew how to get us all going. And to be fair, we had a great squad. Good togetherness we did. The likes of Brian Gale, Glenn Hodges, Trace, Gans, Bees, Bradders, Mitch Ward, Dane.
Vinnie Jones was there
Vinnie,
for a brief.
well, I wouldn't put Vinnie too much into our little clique, but Vinnie can come into it a little bit. But we had a great squad, And Derek Frenchy. What a great character. And he's been in here a couple of times.
Yeah, good man, Frenchy.
I think on one of his visits, he told us about early on in Dave Bassett's reign, he figured he'd got a togetherness problem because of a North v South, because he signed a lot of players from the South, yourself included, and Frenchy said it was sorted out in a fight, basically.
Some days, on a Friday, we're meant to be just having a nice, easy day, and Harry would say, right, North v South, a little five-a-side. Some of the tackles, you'd think it's a Saturday playing in a game. Some of the tackles, especially from Bradders and Dane and Mitch, they was off the Richter scale, but it was brilliant.
So who used to win, North v South? Then?
Always South, mate. The free slap shots are going to kill me for saying that, but it's always South.
But did that? I mean, there was animosity, I think, to start with. But gradually that changed to a togetherness?
Yeah, the togetherness, with Agana and Dainsy up front, we all just gelled together. It was a real strong squad, Even though we was getting beat more than we was winning, when we started winning, We got that bug of winning, and it sort of all clicked.
Have you got a highlight game for you personally or for the team generally?
I can't pick the Man United game where I got sent off. So the Blackburn game when we won on penalties.
Right. Yes.
That was a fantastic game.
Alan Kelly saved the
first one from Jason Wilcox.
Yeah, that one. And you were kind of in and out of the team, weren't you?
Yeah.
But you did get to play a few Premier League games.
Yeah.
And that must still
mate,
be able to say I've played in the Premier League.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Whoever can turn around and say that, it's a big achievement. It's a massive achievement.
And Sheffield United now and what you've seen and how it's going. I think we had a conversation before, and you said none of it really surprised you.
It don't surprise me. People talk about Chrissy. Listen, he's done his apprenticeship and he's been successful along the way, but he's done it the right way. If you look how he's done it to get where he is today, he's done it the proper way, and he deserves as many accolades as you could possibly give him. And he'll keep the Blades up this year, 1,000,000%, because of the way they're playing. And you look at the togetherness of this team now; it's unbelievable. I watched them play. I said, watch them play against Chelsea. First half, we weren't that clever. Second half, we come out, got a bit between the teeth, knocked the ball about. Fantastic. I'm not saying we're going to go and roll teams over week in, week out, but even watching the Liverpool game the other day.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest margin of defeat is, only a goal. And you kind of look at it like that and you think, to say that they've been to Stamford Bridge, got a point, and obviously the freak goal against Liverpool, whether you could argue they deserve something from that game or not.
Definitely.
But it is like that, isn't it?
Well, you see, this team ain't frightened.
Yeah.
This team are not frightened.
They're getting more and more comfortable as well, aren't they? Do you not think? On a Saturday, these don't seem to be, because obviously the first game at Bournemouth, obviously it's a massive day in it, and they're all thinking, oh my goodness, Premier League, all the cameras are there, and there's 5 or 6 different punditry teams all stood around the side of the pitch and whatever else. It's a bit different. But then now they seem a bit more comfortable with it.
Because they're trusting each other.
Yeah.
You go into these Premier League and then you're playing all against the big boys, and it is a bit daunting. But all of a sudden they've had a few good results and they're trusting each other, and it starts to work.
What was it like for you? You're playing in the Premier League and you've come up against some great players, and you're sharing a pitch with some players now who are Premier League legends and stuff, and you think, oh my, he's there. Did you think that at the time or not? You can't really allow that to.
Not at the time. I didn't care less. I just wanted to get to grips with them at the time. But now, when you look back at it and think, God, I played against him. I played against him.
Like who? Go on. Who are the big names?
Mark Hughes, Brian Robson.
Brian Robson. How did you fare against him?
Cantona.
Yeah.
But Brian Robson was at Middlesbrough at the time, so it was a bit easier because he was getting towards the end of his career.
Yeah.
So.
Still there. Playing in the top division against someone like him, and
not just the Man United players. Shearer. There's a number of them. You can rattle them all off, but. Anyone who plays in the Premiership is a good player.
Yeah, correct.
And these guys, are not given the credit, in my view, individually for how good. I know collectively it's a major force, but these guys individually have proved themselves to be really, really decent players, haven't they? Good players.
Fantastic, collectively and individually.
Yeah.
They all do their purpose.
What do you make of the overlapping centre backs, which caused a storm in Premier League circles, but we'd all known about it.
We'd seen them from League One,
That's probably
Championship,
I mean, that's pretty innovative and something that would never ever have happened in your day. I mean, what would Brian Gale
our centre halves couldn't have got forward that much.
No. Because who was it? Brian Gale and Bees.
And Pembo.
Yeah. At the back, and then there'd be you sort of scuttling around in midfield, ball winning and kicking a few people. Definitely kicking a few people.
A bit like John Fleck, really. Yeah.
Well, John Fleck
he's got a bit more flair, Fleck.
He's a bit more skillful than Charlie. Charlie.
Thanks, Al.
No, I'm sorry.
I thought he was going to the lighter side.
Yeah, I've got to put him right. But great days, and it's good to see you back. And I know that you're using the weekend.
I'm meeting up with the boys and the missus tomorrow. We're going to have a bite to eat and have a little chat and get together because we ain't seen each other. So it should be eventful, should we say?
Yeah, it'll be eventful and you'll enjoy it and you'll you know, you'll have a couple of drinks.
Yeah, I
I'm
think we
almost certain.
Yeah, I think we will. Yeah.
I did have a lighter moment with Charlie on the phone when talking to him about booking him, and he just announced on Twitter that he'd gone 9 years without gambling, without placing a bet, and I just said to him, "How much did you put on that you go 9 years?" And you laughed, which is, you know, and I wondered whether I'd said the wrong thing.
Yeah,
I really did say whether I
no.
said the wrong thing.
No.
But you laughed about it, and the fact that you can do that is, you know, testament to you. And the other thing was, in our conversation, we said, "Yeah, come on, talk about the gambling," and I never said anything. You said, "You do know I've been inside, don't you?" And I'd forgotten about it. I don't know how or why. It must have been at the back. And I hadn't realised. And obviously, I checked, and I thought, no way I'm having this guy on the show.
Yeah, and here he is.
But you kind of offered it, and you've been out front with it.
Listen, I'm ashamed of the fact, and there's no getting away from it. I'm ashamed of the fact, but it's happened. I can't not talk about it because I want to hide it. It's happened. You know, I'm devastated that it's happened. There's no one more devastated that it's happened than me. But it's happened, and you know, I don't want to hide away from that. I don't want to come on here just saying I'm often gambling for 9 years. Look at this man.
You said to me just before we went on air, "Look, I'm not looking for sympathy. Don't be sympathetic."
No, why should you? I got convicted of drug dealing. You can't be sympathetic to me. It's my own fault.
Right, we're into the last couple of minutes of the show. It's lovely to see you moving on with your life. It's lovely. I wonder if we can see that picture again that we showed you, the family shot from part one that you wouldn't have seen. James, there we are. What a lovely photograph that is.
Looking well as well, Charlie, mate, if you don't mind me saying.
Yeah. And what's it like at 48 to have a 2-year-old then?
God, I checked you. I was saying there, I was in the pub on Father's Day. I'm having a pint with one of them, with Callum, and the little one's running about like a fruitcake. So it's tiring now. It's tiring.
Yeah, well, yeah, I can believe that. I was in the sort of early 30s when ours were little, and I can tell you it was very tiring indeed. And does he run rings round you? Because I know that there was an injury that really kind of
I smashed my knee to bits, and I struggled, you know, especially when the old bad damp weather comes in. But he certainly tries to keep me on my toes, but I can't keep up with him that much, mate.
No. Well, it's lovely to see you, and I hope you have a great weekend, and you're looking to see the next Blades game in London.
Yeah.
You won't be up here, though, for the Arsenal game, but that'll be live on TV, so you'll be able to...
I'll be able to see that.
Sit in a pub with a few of the Blades, maybe, and, you know.
I'll have to sit in the front room to watch that.
You're going to have to. There's no way you can go to the local for that, is there? Can you imagine?
Definitely not.
Yeah, I think you might end up back in...
No way. No way.
Well, brilliant. James, thanks very much.
No worries at all.
Good to see you. Good to see you again. Drop in when you can. And Charlie, just want to say, you know, thank you so much for coming, being so honest, and hopefully doing a service to a lot of people, particularly younger people, by offering your story, being so honest about it, and looking to improve the culture of young people where gambling and other things are concerned. If you missed any of this, I do strongly recommend that you catch up with it. It will be repeated again at 11 p.m. here tonight. It will also, as usual, be on my YouTube channel. And here's my party political broadcast. Next week, for my feathered friends, is purely an all Owls show, and some good guests as well. See you then. Bye-bye.